Be the match, everybody. Billy MD. I'm a 45-year-old female whose son survived from a rare form of bone marrow cancer because of BeTheMatch.org. BeTheMatch.org was something that I mentioned joining a couple podcasts ago, in case you weren't listening. So anyways, I was driving to work and listening to your podcast, and when you mentioned this, I almost started screaming for joy. You're the first woman who ever listened to my podcast who considered screaming for joy, unless I was saying, well, that's the podcast for this week. Then they're usually like, oh, thank God it's over. We were told that he would have a very hard time qualifying to be a donor because of certain factors. You mean getting a donor? Very hard time, yeah, to be a donor. I think you mean qualify. Getting a match, I should say. Anyways, we stayed positive, and after a year and a half, a donor match was found. The match was a young man in his late 20s who had heard about Be the Match and decided to register on a whim. Thank you so much for mentioning it on the podcast. My husband and I often question why programs like this aren't mentioned in bigger forums, be it 60 Minutes or the State of the Union address. I don't know anyone who wouldn't help save someone's life if they could. The donor, or as we refer to him as Superman, had heard about this from a friend at a dinner party. Attending that dinner party, in turn, saved my son's life, which means that you could be part of saving someone's life, too, just by having mentioned it. I'm welling up just writing this email, and I know your listeners are usually writing in about psycho women and sports, but if you do happen to read this, I just want you to know that it means the world to me. Geez, this is too fucking nice for me to read. Too many compliments here. To reiterate, what you mentioned on the podcast, the test is literally just swabbing your cheek with a Q-tip. Not swapping your cheek. That would be some face-off shit. With a Q-tip, they send you and putting it in a mailbox. If you happen to match with someone in the registry, they contact you, and you have the option of saving someone's life. Fuck this. I'm doing this. I got to do that. Jesus Christ. BeTheMatch.org, everybody. How about you do that? Why don't you guys go out and do that thing, and then the next time your spouse, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend gives you shit, like, what have you been doing all day? What have I been doing? Saving fucking lives, lady. Or buddy. Whatever women say to their guys. You fucking asshole.